Hey guys, I'm putting this video together because I just got this J terser put together. It had a couple things that were wrong with it. It came in, I'm just flipping it, and I thought I'd kind of explain some stuff for some people that maybe are kind of like new to the game and maybe just kind of new to the luthery. Really, I'm not like the best of the best, but I have some stuff because I've been playing guitar for 20 years. I picked up some stuff. So this thing came with an input jack that was broken, right? The person didn't even really try to solder it to well, anyways, regardless, I'm not going to get into it. Basically, they tried to tape the positive to the post of the positive in the input jack. It was not good. Instead of having a messed up lug, so I had to get rid of that. Then basically what I did was I went ahead and put a stereo input jack in there. And the reason I went for a stereo input jack is because it has a longer prong in there, or a little post for the tip of the cord to touch, right? So you really want like the whole length of this cord to really like fit in the input jack. And if you have a mono input jack, it's basically just not gonna go all the way most of the time. Like I've seen a couple where that little prong that connects with it really like stays there, keeps it staying there, and doesn't really move. But that's like few and far between. I honestly can't even remember where I got those. So I really just like the stereo ones because even the second prong just kind of keeps it in there. So that's just kind of a quick tip. Also, I went with instead of just one nut, just one nut right here, I went with two, because like one of the things that I hate is just having to basically collect my nut from somewhere and then figure out how to put it together. What if you're at a show? That's super annoying, right? You're trying to figure out how to do that and not panic, right? So what I do is I just put two nuts on there, tighten them together, bam, done. Never have to deal with it. Now you have like the dopest input jack, right? You have a stereo, it's never going to move in and out, and now the nut's never going to go. Bam, solved. You're never going to have problems. Well, you might, you never know, but that's a lot less, right? So going from there, I basically had to put a new potentiometer or pot in there. I just noticed that it was going when I was turning it. Now with that, I usually just spray like deoxit D5, which is like a lubricant. It'll break down any like rust, corrosion, whatever, and then kind of like lube it up, right? So that's obvious stuff to do, right? So spray it in there, try to test that out, and then see what happens. It was kind of doing this weird thing where like if I kind of like pushed on the top of it, it was kind of sinking in. It did some weird thing, and even with the nut tight, it was doing something weird. So I kind of wasn't digging it. So I just threw a whole new one in there. It was a bigger potentiometer anyways, which is always a better thing. It just gets a better tone. And then last but not least, what I did was most of these like beginner guitars, even if I get them like used or whatever, they're kind of like somebody tried to set them up or didn't even really try to set them up, and they're just like hecka high because they don't want fret buzz on there. And now let me just get rid of this stigma. It is not okay to have fret buzz on an acoustic, but it is totally acceptable to have fret buzz on an electric, right? Because you're not trying to hear this guitar acoustically. You're trying to hear this guitar through an amp, right? Now, granted, this amp is going to have like a little weird buzz from like some missing screw or something going on in there, but it's not going to have a fret buzz. Now, if I don't have the volume up, you could probably hear something, kind of get that weird buzz, right? So that's just from it being too low. It's not having enough clearance for the elliptical pattern of the string, so it's hitting other frets, right? So as long as you're not hearing that through there, I'm hearing it all day here. I'm not hearing it over there at all. And if I wasn't getting a good sustained note, then I'd probably lift it up. Not all guitars are the same. They're all not supposed to be race cars and stuff like that. But that should be pretty darn low. And if it can't get that low, you probably just, it's too cheap of a guitar or whatever. But yeah, that's my explanation. There you guys go. That's kind of like my pro tips of what I like to do when I set up or have to do these things like change out input jacks and different things like that. So yeah.